So yeah, as I said, the battery was going to run out, so I just let it. Oh, you got a really, really precipitous cliff edge right there. Starting to remind me of the last attempt I did on this one, when I went from Eaton Saddle. I expect this. I thought this was supposed to be a lot less crazy. Alright, well, made it over. I see, again, what looks like a scuffed up trail right over here. Kind of like from the Eaton Saddle side, you'll see what looks like a use trail for a while, then it'll peter out, then it'll come back, peter out, come back. But right here, so far, there are a couple sketchy spots so far. So far though, it's not as much in the way of bushwhacking like on like the Eaton Saddle approach. But here we go. At least I know I'm on the trail. So like I said, I attempted this peak back in 2019, and I haven't been back since. Sure, it's a nice, pretty shady hike. This would actually probably also, like the other side, be a relatively good summer hike because you're in shade. From what I heard, really not supposed to be a lot of views at the top of Occidental because there's a lot of brush up there, but it'll be nice getting to another peak. Yeah, so far the trail's a little better to find over here, a little easier to follow. It does follow the fence. I just thought it was supposed to be closer to the fence. One thing about this side, seems to be more big cone Douglas fir than on the western side. More canyon live oak, interior live oak, silk tassel. Over here, we've got more big cone Douglas fir. You can hear the road just down below. So let's see. Say the trail's supposed to be quite slippery in spots too. Wouldn't be surprised. However, it's not as slippery because it had rained up here a couple days ago, so soil's kind of damp. But just like with the Eaton Saddle side, if you decide to bail out, like you get tired or you just don't feel like you can make it anymore, or just lose interest or whatever the reason, don't bail out unless you can see a clear, non-cropped out route to get to the road. That's the mistake I made the first time hiking Occidental from the Eaton Saddle side. When you're driving up to Mount Wilson, the road cuts are pretty steep and sometimes very, very tall. You'd have to probably do some mountaineering to get down to the road. If you're not a mountaineering person, I'm not quite a mountaineer. I do a fair amount of off-trail hiking and some very light scrambling, like class 2, maybe very basic class 3. But I'm not officially a mountaineer. So you want to have some experience in that if you want to try dipping down from Mount Wilson like that. So far this trail's pretty chill. It's kind of nice to be in the shade of conifers and of course canyon live oaks. I can see why this place would get slippery when it's dry. And then also, Watch out because there are cables running on the ground too, so you don't get your foot trapped and you fall and eat dirt. So there are some cables, so just watch where you step. The interface of anthropogenic progress and nature's beauty. Very close at hand over here. So far, okay, looks like I gotta go around over here, according to the trail. I don't think the bobcat fire got too much of this portion of Mount Wilson. I know it did on the other side of the road near Red Box. There's some burnt areas near Red Box, Saddle, and some of Mount Wilson's north slopes along the way up, but I don't think it got this far up the ridge here. So, as always, you know, when you're hiking near any fire scars, you know, just be on the lookout for poodle dog bush. All right. Looks like we're gonna have a little minor bushwhacking. Oh, crud. So, just for reference, the top of Mount Wilson is 5,710. The top of Occidental Peak is just a little tiny bit higher at 5,732. That's the top of Occidental Peak. Now eventually I may attempt Occidental from Eaton Saddle again, only this time if I get to a point where I don't feel like continuing, I'm just gonna push my way back the way I came so I don't end up putting myself in that danger again. If I had just gone the way I came, I wouldn't have an issue. I wouldn't have had an issue. I'd have been a little bit extra tired from climbing back up some steep slopes, but I would never have fallen. I think about tumbled. I think it was more like tumbled about 150 feet down the cliff. This must have been a large big cone. Must have been some big ones over here. These ones are more in the smaller, medium-sized range. Beautiful trees too. It is one tree I really highly covet when I'm hiking, especially in lower and lower middle elevations of our mountain ranges here. So looks like it's definitely a lot more big cone Douglas fir than on the other side. It was very scattered on the western approach. The eastern approach, it's all over the place. I think we're near the helipad. I believe, if I remember correctly, it's supposed to be a 2 to 2.5 mile hike round trip, I believe. So it's not one of those all-day bits. I think this is the helipad, I believe. Yeah, this is the helipad. Yeah, this is it, most certainly. So there's a little footpath branching off from the trail to get up here. I can kind of show you Occidental Peak. So I think the views from the helipad are supposed to be some of the best, if not the best, along the hike. The top of Occidental is covered in trees and thickets. So that's Occidental right there. That's the nearest peak at 5,732. San Gabriel Peak, 6,161. Then that flat top one right there next to Occidental is Mount Markham, and that's like 5,742 roughly. I did a hike up there back in 2018. Did Mount Markham and Mount Low. It's a pretty easy hike. It's a little bit of scrambling getting up to Mount Markham, but nothing more than class 2. Maybe a little sketchy in spots, but it's just there. Just some areas are kind of steep, so and you're on a ridge line, so you just got to be a little extra careful what you're doing. But oh, what am I doing? I should be looking at the other views. Then we got the Verdugo Mountains, and I can see Sandstone Peak in the Santa Monicas. See where this hill is right here? The peak behind it is Sandstone Peak, and Sandstone Peak is the high point of Boney Mountain. That's the highest point in the Santa Monica mountain range. It's at 3,111 feet. That's one I have yet to try. In fact, I've never actually been in the Santa Monica Mountains. I know some of you guys who like to comment on my videos say you got to get up to the Santa Monica Mountains. I agree, I really do. I don't know what the heck is wrong with me. I really actually do need to check them out. At least, at the very least, try to get to Sandstone Peak. It's not supposed to be a really extremely difficult hike. There are multiple ways to get up there. Multiple trailheads, I believe. I think the backbone trail, the backbone of the Santa Monica Mountains. That backbone trail, I think, gets near Miche Mokwa, Ray Miller Trailhead. I think those are some possible starting points for Occidental Peak. I mean, Sandstone Peak. Thinking of Occidental Peak because that's where I'm trying to hike right now. Sandstone Peak. It's not supposed to be sandstone. It's not supposed to be actually sandstone. It's colored like sandstone. I want to say it's a type of granite, but the color of it, I've seen pictures of it, I've seen videos of people hiking it, and it legit looks like sandstone. But it's supposed to be granite, I think. Okay. Let's see. So far, except for the early parts of the trail, it's not super extremely difficult to follow. It does get faint in spots, but just again, there are going to be some cliff edges to look out for when you're hiking over here. Yeah, some cliff edges. Yeah. Looks like it gets a little crazy over here. Actually, maybe I should. Oh boy! Ouch! These Kenny live oak leaves are spiny. See what I mean? It's a little slippery. Let's see if I can follow the ridge line for a while. Might be the best bet. Let me see. See if I can find the trail again. Ooh. Wow. It's kind of hard to keep to the trail, I'll tell you. Once you get past the helipad, I have to do some down scrambling or something over here. So yeah, it was pretty decently followable until I got over here past that rock, that little scrambling area. Now I've completely lost the trail. Completely lost it. Oh boy. Completely lost the trail right now. So if you're gonna do this hike, not worry about getting lost. I just don't want to get into another situation where I fall off the mountain. So now I gotta find where the trail goes. So I'm not seeing it now. Well, this is starting to get like the other side, hiking Occidental. Lose the trail, then it becomes a search to find it again, or a total bushwhack. It is almost impossible to see the trail from here. Actually, it is impossible from my vantage point. See, now I'm going to get to a down climb situation again. So now I got to see if I can find the trail down the side of this hill. So now I got to go try to find the dang trail, which I cannot see from here. So I'm kind of wary considering the experiences I've had in this area. Alright, now I gotta try to get down over this log. See, from here I don't even see the trail anymore. So yep, this is becoming just like last time already. Wow, this most certainly is becoming another adventure. This is the second time I've been over here. Just like the last time, it's becoming quite an adventure. Again, I don't even see a trace of the trail. Completely gone. So I might have to scramble up that, or try to scramble up that and see if I can find the trail again. Oh, this is definitely not fun. I mean, well, I wouldn't say it's not fun. It's, you get to exercise your route finding skills. So I'm kind of not really speaking correctly there. But it is unexpected. So I'm going to try to see if I can find a way over this. I'm going to have to put the camera away, and I'll see you on my next clip.